On the next Lifestyle magazine, Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond on children and AIDS.
You can learn English at home. Watch Hello Channel.
Around 20,000 American children are HIV positive. As many as 80,000 more will be orphaned through AIDS-related deaths. Today, we'll talk with actress Doris Roberts about her commitment to make a positive difference in the lives of many children affected by this devastating disease. I'm Dan Matthews, and this is Lifestyle Magazine.
Catherine Brown is Executive Director of Children Affected by AIDS. And joining her today is Emmy-nominated actress Doris Roberts, who's very passionate about this cause. Doris, what is Children's Affected by AIDS Foundation?
Well, I'm going to let Kathy tell you that because she's the director of it, and she'll say it much better than I will.
Okay, Kathy.
I'll tell you.
Thank you, Doris. The Children Affected by AIDS Foundation is a national grant-making foundation that raises funds and provides these funds to organizations all over the country who care for children on a daily basis that are infected with HIV or affected by AIDS. We're about making a difference in the lives of these children today.
What I think is important is that so many organizations raise money, thank God, for research.
Yeah.
But who takes care of them in the meantime?
Right.
And that's what we're about.
Who founded this foundation?
It was founded by an executive at Mattel Incorporated, an HIV positive man who has risen to the level of vice president, truly a remarkable individual that struggles with the disease on a daily basis.
And his name is Joe Christina.
Joe Christina. And of course, is he still?
Oh, yes.
He's still with us.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So he's hanging in there.
Very well.
Children are, I understand, the largest number growing in our country of infected and affected segment.
They don't get involved with sex and they don't shoot up, so they are really innocent
They're victims.
victims, right?
They're victims.
So we're talking age. What are the ages, would you say, that in the majority?
Well, for the first time, our children are living into adolescence. The foundation, when we first started, it was for children that are infants to 13. But now they're living into adolescence. So we're finding more and more now that we need to support our children as they grow into youth.
Well, they contract it through birth,
Right.
From a birth parent,
Right.
or from interaction with folks in the home, I would imagine.
Or for breastfeeding.
Or from breastfeeding.
What are, for example, what are some of the criteria you use before you'll fund an agency to help the children? I mean, how do you choose?
Well, we're very flexible, and we were founded when Joe Christina founded the organization. He decided that we needed to remain very flexible, and we've done so. Our mission is about providing direct service, which includes medical care, mental health, hospice care, but we even provide joint fund to the lives of children. We fund summer camps, we fund birthday parties, mental health support groups, outings for the children.
Now, you designate infected and affected.
Correct.
How do you draw the line? What's the difference?
We don't.
All right.
And that's the beauty of our foundation and the way it was created.
Well, a lot of people just don't understand or don't know how children with AIDS are affected by a relative, a friend, the community, those around them. While the child may not be HIV positive, they may be traumatically affected by AIDS.
Well, if their parent or parents die of AIDS, they certainly would be affected by it. So that's a major thing. What are the numbers, Kathy, of children who will come down with AIDS by the end of this?
By the end of this year, the predictions are that between 16 and 20,000 will be infected. There will be 16 to 20,000 infected children. But more staggering is by the end of the year 2000, 120 children will be orphaned due to the loss of one or both parents to AIDS. That's in this country alone. Worldwide, 40 million will be orphaned by the year 2010.
Doris, how did you come to be involved with this organization?
Through Joe Christina. I have to tell you that since 1984, I've been involved in benefits for APLA, or all kinds of different organizations that relate to AIDS. I have, in 1984, we started doing the Variety Acts thing, where we had all the great talents of both Broadway and Los Angeles put on shows. They still go on doing it, and it's fabulous. We have raised, last year we raised $1,200,000 for Children Affected with AIDS Foundation.
I think Doris is being modest about her support to CAF. You know, we've raised over $4 million with her help. And she thinks about us on a daily basis. She thinks about us in everything she does, everywhere she goes. And she just carries us with her in such a passionate way. We're very lucky.
You know,
very lucky.
I have a passion for it too, a spokesperson for Minority Conference Against AIDS. But even more so, closer to home, I lost 2 brothers in my family to AIDS 2 years ago. So I'm deeply concerned and want to hear more about it.
Good.
Coming up, a mother's touching story of losing her daughter to AIDS.
We learned English.
Your kids can too. Just watch Hello Channel.
Elaine McClendon has experienced every mother's worst nightmare, the death of one of her children. Her daughter, Jimmy Lynn, lost her life to AIDS. Elaine, thank you for being with us. How did you come to find out your daughter was HIV positive?
Believe it or not, I got a call on my job at lunchtime, well, for lunch, from my daughter. She had something she wanted to tell me, and she figured lunchtime, I guess, would be the best time. And we actually went out to lunch, and it wasn't until lunch was over with that she made me aware that she found out just before coming to me that she was HIV positive.
And what was your reaction?
At the time, no reaction whatsoever. Glad that she felt comfortable that she could come to me and say those words and not hold them back. And basically, I went back to work. I mean...
Well, when did the dynamics of the gravity of this thing hit you?
That night at home, after work. It was like I went to work and I just did my routine job and enjoyed the lunch. And by the time I got off, I mean, and got home and sit down, it was like, this is what she told me.
How old was your daughter?
She was 27 when she found out, yes. And
how long from diagnosis to her
7 months.
7 months.
So when she found out, she was full-blown, and it's only because she happened to take her children in for a TB test, and someone just looked at her and said, oh, you don't look good. Let me do a TB test on you and just run a blood test on you. And her hemoglobin and white and red count was low, and they said, well, I think you better make an appointment to go to the hospital right now. And that's how it...
Did others in her household then find out, perhaps, that because of their close communication with her, that perhaps they were infected? Or were you personally afraid of something like that?
Oh, no. Afraid never entered my mind. My daughter, when we had the conversation, like 3 days later, she made me aware that she had select people that she wanted to tell herself, and that she just wanted me to honor her wishes. She was a single parent with 2 children, and so it was like she felt comfortable enough maybe that she knew she hadn't affected her immediate family, but she did select the people that she wanted to know, and I respected that.
Now, were the children born prior to, were the children affected by AIDS?
Not medically, but everything, in every other way, yes.
They found out that she had AIDS after the birth of the children?
Yes. The kids weren't affected at all medically, but mentally, We actually told the children. It wasn't that someone else told them, or they went to a doctor and just figured it out on their own. We actually sit down and told them with the understanding they probably wouldn't understand, but we told them anyway.
How old were the children, Elaine? How old were they?
5 and 7.
So they were really quite young to experience this kind of loss.
Yes, they were.
Did they come to live with Grandma afterwards?
Most definitely. Matter of fact, my daughter went through a lot of medical change, being diagnosed. She wound up going into renal failure. So I actually moved into their home with them. Her sister moved in with her, and we kind of like all worked together to take care of the family and the children.
How did you come to be connected with Children's Affected with AIDS Foundation? How did you hook up with them?
Very nice people, believe me.
Well,
it's a
perhaps
long
I can
story,
tell about
yeah.
the girls. Perhaps I can tell about the girls being enrolled in the wonderful mental health program at AIDS Project Los Angeles, which Children Affected by AIDS Foundation has funded for many years. In addition, we established a child care center at APLA.
What kind of center?
A child care center.
A child care center.
So that when parents are seeing to their own health care and their own needs, that there's a safe place for the children to go during that time. And perhaps the girls will remember the most their trips to Dream Halloween, because one of the things that we do at Dream Halloween is through our corporate sponsors and our wonderful supporters of the event, we bring in over 200 affected children to the event. So Elaine's girls come every year.
Well, did they get to meet Doris Roberts over there? The lady who's gone from one hit to another hit?
Believe me, they could tell you about
Everybody Loves Raymond now, and everybody loves Doris Roberts.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Particularly the way you show your love for so many through this foundation. Well, I tell you what, this is an interesting and very profoundly affecting subject. So we've got much more to say about this when we come back.
Learning a new language can be difficult and discouraging, but it doesn't have to be. Hello, I'm Karen, introducing Hello Channel, the revolutionary new channel designed especially to teach English. If you can speak English, the future is open for you, since speaking English means greater opportunity and higher paying jobs. By watching Hello Channel, you are immersed in this valuable language. You'll hear the words being spoken. You'll see the speakers' mouths when they say the words. You'll read what's being spoken in large, clear subtitles. And you'll speak out loud, practicing what you have just learned. There is no better or faster way to learn a language than total immersion. Hello Channel does exactly that. There's programming on every level, so you can watch the shows that are just perfect for you. Whether you've spoken a little English, a great deal of English, or none at all, the Hello Channel has something for everyone. Join us for a convenient, affordable, and fun way to shape your future. There's so much in store for you if you'll just say hello.
We're back, and we're talking about children affected and infected by AIDS, and we're talking with Doris Roberts. Doris, you had a friend, Joe Christina. Why did, I mean, we know how important this organization is, but why did you get involved? What was your emotional involvement?
Oh. I've lost 46 friends to this disease. And I've been involved since 1984 because, to begin with, I hate, and I use that word advisedly, prejudice. And when it first came out and it became, from most people's point of view, a disease that only existed in the homosexual community, I thought, this is insanity. This is, it's a terrible disease. People are dying from it. Why don't we deal with the human aspect of it? Where is, where is, as we say, the God in all of us? And I got involved very, very fully and strongly in an organization where we put on variety arts programs, and we got all the best. The community of theater, television, and movies are the most generous people. They always are there to support organizations.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm kind of proud to be a part of a community that has a big heart. They always give. They always give. And when they're galvanized by someone with as many concerns as you have exhibited, they give even more. You know, you touched on a point, the idea of not being prejudiced. It's sad to realize that there are people who are prejudiced about disease, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable.
I mean, okay, so you're part of this community with which I don't agree, so therefore this disease is your disease. Go over there and die. We're not going to deal with you. Well, I don't know. In my personal life and reading, the scriptures indicate Jesus didn't ask people where they got their disease or how they came about it. He just healed them. I agree with you. We need to fight that prejudice, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Elaine, you lost a child.
Yes.
Emotional recovery. It's a process. How did you start?
By taking responsibility for my grandchildren. I am a singled, and so when my daughter passed, it gave me something to do. I took the children in. We lived together. We've learning one another because they've always looked at me as a grandmother. Now it's entirely different. I personally am still healing. I've changed my whole lifestyle. I don't work. I'm an at-home mom.
Right. Focusing on life ahead of you.
Yes.
Children.
Everything I do is basically children-oriented.
Sure.
So entirely different.
Elaine McClendon, working on the recovery process. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Some of the statistics are positively alarming. In the minority community particularly. In the state of New York, Kathy, I understand that 80% of those affected by the HIV virus are African American or minority women.
That's correct. New York is the first state to demonstrate that more women are now HIV infected than men. They are African American women and Latino women and women of childbearing age, which means that these women will be bearing children that will eventually be orphaned.
So we're talking the quickest growing is Latin and African Americans.
That's correct. Growing among youth, and actually 20% of the youth that are acquiring HIV lost a parent to AIDS. So the self-esteem and mental health issues are staggering, especially in the northeast part of the country.
So we need to get some more attention to the minority problem.
Absolutely. We need some spokespersons.
Yes, we do.
Don't we?
Desperately.
We said we have a generous community here in Hollywood and in theater and Broadway. Maybe we can, somebody watching, we hope maybe will step forward and
I hope so.
say I'm Latino or I'm African American and I want to speak out for...
Maybe even Patty Cabrera will do that.
Yes, I'm here, I'm ready.
Are you?
That's right, I'm Latina, I'm ready to go.
Right. We've got one here.
I'm here.
Are there anyone else out there?
Absolutely.
Well, now, tell us in this, in our waning minutes here, what are some of the things that you did for the children to help them adjust after losing a parent?
Oh, we've done funded some wonderful programs around the country. Perhaps the most touching is in South Florida, where we fund a program called Reflections, and it allows mothers to leave videotapes to the children so that after the mothers die, the children have a legacy of their mother.
A message from mom.
A message from mom on videotape. It's an incredible program. In addition, we fund a program in Bronx, New York that works with grandmothers to help children beginning at the age of 3 to learn to swallow pills this big, this size, 3 times a day to prevent their infection from getting worse and to allow them to live a healthy and normal life.
A lot of people have trouble with something that's simple, right, Patty?
Yeah.
Just swallowing a pill.
I hear all the it's just so much to take, and it's tough to do.
You know, some people can't do it. Now, I take pills well and taught my kids to take pills.
Vitamins.
Yeah, well, I put butter on it and shoved it down their throat like the puppy. I'm kidding, of course. No, my kids learned to take pills, but it's a very important thing for those young people to learn, isn't it?
Yes,
So your foundation, basically, we deal with the children learning how to take pills and children being entertained by Power Rangers.
That's it. That's it.
And also,
Phenomenal.
some, in many cases, housed and clothed and fed and given medication, which is very, very important.
Placement in homes.
Absolutely.
The new essentials after becoming infected
This transition.
or affected by AIDS.
And unfortunately, in some cases, to be buried. This is a very important organization that does a lot of fabulous things, as you've just heard.
It takes a lot of money.
It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of caring. These are children who are innocent.
It's a great work you're doing, Doris, and really, really proud of you. And for those who may want to make a difference with the Children Affected by AIDS Foundation, a little later on, we'll put an address up. We'll be back with some closing thoughts after this.
For a brighter future, say hello.
Hello. The job market is a competitive place. In today's economy, extra skills mean a better job for you. Speaking English is the skill you need for greater opportunity, more money, and a brighter future. Introducing Hello Channel, an exciting new television channel that teaches English as you watch TV. There's something for everyone, and the more you watch, the faster you'll learn. All you have to do is say hello.
This has been probably one of our more moving programs, where your heart weeps and at the same time you're so inspired. Thank you all for being with us, telling us about children affected by AIDS. Elaine, we honor you so much for being here and kind of showing us the way. There are people viewing, Kathy, who will want more information about your organization, so give us an address.
6033 West Century Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90045.
And Doris, we're going to love Raymond's mom a whole lot more from now on. God bless you. Bye now.